order a container, put in a possible, they have to test it out first, but if they like it, then they'll want to have a container. And I hadn't thought that big yet, but a container, because sending them off through Amazon, we're still doing very well on Amazon. That's a story in itself, how we got there. But I was thinking, container, well, you do boxes of the 200 in a shipping order to Amazon, another 240 and 240. So I was thinking in my mind's eye, okay, well, how many is a container? So I asked, well, how many is in a container? She wrote back in a very logical way, saying, a container is like a shipping container, 20 feet by 40 feet. Like a shipping container that would be on a train, on a boat. But, oh, that's a big order. So it was fun with the leap from thinking, from order of, 300, 400, 500, 1,000 to, hundreds of thousands. Well, we're still in that process, but it looks like it's going well.
Welcome to the Invention Stories Podcast, where we share stories of inventors who turn their idea into a product. Please visit our website at www.inventionstories.com. And now, from the Invention Stories Podcast World Headquarters Studios in Morro Bay, California, is our host, Robert Baer.
Welcome to the Invention Stories Podcast. I am your host, Robert Baer, and thank you for joining us today. This is episode 6, the second part of a 2-part interview with our guest, Jessica Haynes, who has invented the socket saver. Jessica's on the line from Carmel, California, so let's get back to it. Jessica, how did you get your socket saver into 48 True Value hardware stores in Northern California?
So I had this telephone number for a consortium where 48 stores come together. It's called NorCal. So it's Northern California Ace Hardware. And Brian runs it. And he had been with Home Depot for 20 years. He had been in the business of marketing, looking at new products, getting new products into catalogs. He joined Ace Hardware. And so here I have this email address. So, hello, my name is Jessica Haynes, emailing him. And I have a product, and Scott Hauer has said, I'm interested in our product. Well, he did return my telephone call, and it's just kind of a fun story. It's like, who are you? My name is Jessica Haynes, and I have a fantastic product. It's called the Socket Saver, and I've been referred by Arnold Ace Hardware to get in contact with you. And who are you? I have a fantastic product. I'll put it in the mail, and I'll send you our information. And so he said, well, call me back in 2 weeks. I need to talk with the committee. And we have a number of our ACE dealers, and we have to go to them and talk with them, and they'll put the idea forward. So call me in 2 weeks. Hi, Brian. This is Jessica Haynes. I'm supposed to call you in 2 weeks. I'm here. And who are you? And what are you? And what's the product? It's the Socket Saver. Of course, you don't be too enthusiastic. You have to be business-like. Definitely have to be business-like. But in the beginning, enthusiasm really brings out the best in people. And so he said, oh, gosh, well, we haven't gone to the committee yet. I'm still waiting to get there. We haven't put it on the table yet. Call me in 2 more weeks, 3 weeks. But anyway, staying in touch with him, and he said, oh, I lost the packages that you sent. Okay, I'll send you more. So I think it was after about the 4th or 5th time that we connected, he tried it out. He looked at it. He said, well, Jessica, I really like you. You've got a really good price point. I look at 5,000 products every year at trade shows in different places. We do have an opening with Ace Hardware, and with our group, that one product has just dropped out, so it is perfect timing. And he said, okay, let's make this work. He said, by the way, I am the committee. I'm the one who makes the decisions. Nobody else. But you have just really won my belief in you and the product, and that you are persistent, and that you have really good materials, and you're a go-getter. And he said, I like to work with people like you. So let's get started. So he did send us, not like a contract, but an agreement to get into the trade shows with Ace Hardware, to get into the stores, and gave me a list of all the different stores he worked with, and invited me to all of their meetings in groups. And that's how we got started into our first large avenue, a major retailer.
Great story, yeah. Practice makes perfect, and persistence, yeah, absolutely. Gotta be relentless.
When they're saying, I don't know, who are you? What's your name? I don't know. Then, okay, I remember you now. And now we're on our first name basis, and we became really, really good friends. And now we've expanded beyond Ace Hardware into some other much larger opportunities. I can share those with you, too, of how that happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do.
Oh, okay. Well, I was trying to reach out as many different ideas as I possibly could. Sometimes people say, well, it's kind of like throwing a dart and seeing where it lands when you have a new product. The good news about the socket saver is that there's nothing like it. There's never been anything like it. The bad news, they would say, is that there's nothing like it and they've never heard of it, then they can't totally relate to it. What is it? Something that fixes your loose wall plugs. So it was the good side and then the flip side. Which coin are you going to toss a coin? Are you going to get heads or are you going to get tails? And so anyway, when we were looking at how we're going to expand this product, I contacted on LinkedIn by as seen on TV. And I thought, okay, well, I'll share the prospect with him. And we hit it right off and talking with each other. And he took my phone call immediately and has been in the business for years and years. One thing that I have realized over the years is working with people who have been in the business for a long time. They've seen it all. They know it all. They've had lots of connections. And if you connect with them, because they've learned how to, quote, develop relationship, and that's what banks always say and stuff, but then they also realize that they can read you really well. You can read them. They can read me, our intentions, our goals, and our follow-through. So in chatting with him, he said, this is not a TV product. He said, this is a catalog product. He says, you're not going to make enough money on TV because it retails for $9.99. A product on TV or QVC or Home Shopping Network, it has to be a minimum of $25 or $50. It's just, that's kind of the price point in what we sell. But you have a really good catalog. So you need to find a catalog rep. Okay, how am I going to do that? How am I going to find a catalog rep in all these different reps? Well, I started looking at catalogs that were in the range from $5.99, $15.99, $20.99, and I thought, okay, well, let me see what I can learn about this. Well, then, out of the blue, I got a phone call from a person that I'd met at a trade show 3-4 years earlier. And again, I really liked his product, and he liked mine. He already had his packaging. It's called the fly swooper. It just swoops flies out of the air, flies, so you can release them. So anyway, he called up and he said, Jessica, I really like your product and that you followed through. And I gave him leads, and he would give me leads. I'd give him leads. He'd give me. We were both new inventors. We met at the LA Convention Center, which is the largest hardware trade show in the United States. So we kind of ran into each other. Our booths were fairly close to each other. And he said, I have a friend in Hawaii, and I think he'll like your product. Let me introduce you to him. And so I said, oh, okay. So he said, he's on the line right now. And this is Super Bowl day that we're supposed to go to a party at Super Bowl. But he said, I like the product. I've looked at it. That Ryan has showed me your product. I think it's a real seller, a real winner. I have a friend. Her name is Jackie, and she's out of Ohio, and she works in catalogs. You might want to be interested in talking with her. Bingo! Okay, out of the blue, just out of the blue. Here's a person, catalog sales. She's been in catalog sales for the last 30 years. She's a professional in her world, and so he had sent her, Jackie, a couple of samples that I had sent to him and the different materials that I had, and she said, this is a perfect catalog sale for me. So she deals with the big, major catalogs. Well, I talked with her, and again, we just hit it right off. She had question after question after question after question, but I've talked to so many people and different companies and different individuals. She said, yep, you answered that one right. Yep, you answered that one correctly. Yep, you answered me. Just facts. She's all facts. She's not like, oh, hi, hello, fact. And she said, okay, you've got something that I want, something I want to represent. I'm going to send you a contract, and then I would like you to, once we get going, then send the product and we'll move forward. And so anyway, I called up my dear friend Barbara Bigford. I said, I've been sent this contract. It's not a very long contract, but you've done so many contracts with your business, and now you're teaching business entrepreneurial at Villanova University, and you know contracts. She read the contract and said, this one is perfect. It's totally fair. It's fair for you. It's fair for her. Just this is the best written contract. Sign it. So I called Jackie back, and I said, the contract is on its way. I will put it in the mail, but I'll also email to you. And that's how we got started with Jackie. And then a short while later, she called up and she said, I have a company that's interested in testing your product. They really like it. And so I would like to order a container put in a possible, they have to test it out first, but if they like it, then they'll want to have a container. And I hadn't thought that big yet, but a container, because sending them off through Amazon, we're still doing very well on Amazon. That's a story in itself, how we got there. But I was thinking, container, well, you do boxes of the 200 in a shipping order to Amazon, another 240 and 240. So I was thinking in my mind, okay, well, how many is a container? So I asked, well, how many is in a container? She wrote back in a very logical way, saying, a container is like a shipping container, 20 feet by 40 feet. Like a shipping container that would be on a train, on a boat. Oh, that's a big order. So it was fun of the leap from thinking, from order of, 300, 400, 500, 1,000 to, hundreds of thousands. Well, we're still in that process, but it looks like it's going well. And with this company, we had to jump from one hoop to another hoop, a little hoop, but she did all the work, all the groundwork. And as a rep, of course, she's going to get her commission, but it's a very reasonable commission. And that's one of the things I asked Barbara Bickford about. Okay, commissions can go all over everywhere. Is this a reasonable commission that you pay someone so you don't get ripped off? And Barbara said, yeah, what she's asking for is just exactly spit on exactly the appropriate commission is. So we're really looking forward to getting into the catalogs. And those doors are continuing to open. And now we're getting into hotels in Hawaii. So Barbara had said, the other people had mentioned that you have a perfect product for hotels and also airports. Because at hotels, the sockets are always so loose. They're used daily, all the time. There are visitors. And so they wear out very, very fast. But they don't fix them. They don't repair them. It's too expensive. So go to the hotels. I remember saying to Barry a number of times, well, let's open up this market. Let's go into this market. It's a huge market. You've got the Marriott hotels, you've got the Hilton hotels, you've got these hotels, and of course, my husband travels a lot, and so when he goes to the hotels, he always has his socket savers with him because the plugs always fall out of the wall when he's trying to recharge his iPad or his phone. And a lot of people have said, yeah, I go to the hotel, I can't recharge my devices for communication and business. So anyway, a contact out of Hawaii, an individual that was introduced to me, stayed in touch with him. He called me up one day, Jessica, you know what, I've got a great idea. This would be fantastic for hotels in Hawaii. I said, really? That sounds wonderful. He said, well, you need to have introduction letter. A very powerful, to the point, very, very high-end introduction letter that I can take to all the different hotels in Hawaii with the contacts. I've been in the business for years and years. Then he said, also, you need to have a higher-end brochure. Your brochure is good, but you need a much higher-end brochure. And you need to have a video. So these are things that I did get those created and sent off to Jackie. So one of the things that I learned along the way is that even though I have done a lot of writing and organizing and putting things together, that how to amp it up to the very next level of true professionalism. So that, again, you can match the best of the retail stores. And so the brochure worked out very well. I had videos. I made videos. I went to a studio in Monterey, Wade Street Studio, and they have one of the highest equipments. And so I had made videos with them for other things, other projects that I was involved with in my consulting business. But I thought, okay, let me make a video for the socket saver. And it was kind of on a shoestring because I really didn't quite know exactly what I was doing at the time. But we did 14 takes, and a couple of them were, but we had one, take number 5. That was just 30 seconds, and it just said everything perfectly. And we put it on YouTube, and it was received very, very well. So I thought what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to Wade Street Studio and make a video, or have him help me make a video with just kind of adding this on, wording, getting the wording just right and read, and having a speaker behind, who would say the product, describe the product, and with colors, just a professional video. So then this is kind of the fun part, is that just when you think you have it all together, you think, all right, I've got it perfect. That my son-in-law came to visit and 2 grandkids, and I said, Rafa, I want you to see my video. I want you to see it. I'm so proud of it. And he said, okay, I'll look at it. And then I put the DVD in, and I'm so proud. It's just under 2 minutes. And then it's kind of quiet. And Jessica, do you want my honest opinion? I thought, that's not a good sign. He said I would not send send that out. I would not. That just, no, that is way too amateurish. He said, I don't think you know that I never really told you in details, but this is what I do. The last 14 years, I make professional videos for, Google and, for all these top internet companies and Nike and, this high end, that's his job. And he said, I'll make a video for you. I'll help you. I said, you will? We talked about everything else with grandkids and stuff and all kinds of, fun things, but never really about his individual business. So he said, give me 2 weeks, give me the material that you have, and I'll go in and I'll start, looking at, how to splice some things together. So 2 weeks later, about 2.5 weeks later, he sent the video on the DVD, and it was perfect. It was perfect. It was so professional. When I sent it off to Barbara Bigford, I said, what do you think of this video? She said, oh my gosh, it's absolutely fantastic. I sent it off to Jackie. She said, it's fantastic. I sent it off to my contact in Hawaii. He said, it's fantastic. So who would ever know, my own backyard, there's a professional that worked with the top companies who said, oh, I'll make your video for you.
That's cool. That works. Jessica, what's the best use of your time? What do you find is like a good bang for the butt that you would recommend the inventors do? Would it be like going to trade shows or connecting with people on Facebook?
Trade shows. Definitely trade shows are extremely important. Facebook has not done anything for me. Really not. Or maybe I haven't quite figured out how to use Facebook, but I have tried Facebook. It hasn't been something, but trade shows, absolutely. And then also just connecting with people. Can you recommend somebody? Can you recommend somebody? Can you recommend somebody? Contacts. Getting contact. When you find one contact that is knowledgeable and wants to share their information. Now, some people, they're private about their information. They don't want to share anything. They want to hold on to it. But others, they're more than pleased to share their knowledge. And so making one contact to another contact and then introducing yourself. That would be, I met you through this particular person, and we've known each other, and he suggested so that when they give you a contact, right now I'm working with a contact that's opening with the U.S. military. And since I've done very well in some of these different contacts and trade shows, he said, this is one of my contacts I've known for years, and this will be a fantastic product to get into the U.S. military because the bases, their wall sockets are super loose, and that they have so many soldiers and officers that are living in that the sockets, they don't fix them, and offices and office buildings. This would be a really good opportunity. So he said, here's the contact number. Now, say my name, you give my name, and move forward. So that really helps. When you get a contact, act on it. Act on it immediately. Don't sit there and wait. I'll think about it. But have all your ducks in a row, too. To have your brochure, have your DVD, have all of your necessary selling tools. So when you make that new contact and you have a referral from somebody that they know, and they know that it's a reputable person, then that opens the door. And that can take a little bit of time, but it is. Trade shows are very, very important. And then keeping up to date with these different contacts that I have, I regularly let them know what I'm doing. Okay, I've got my brochure, I've done that, I'm contacting this person now I'm doing this, now we're doing this, we've expanded here, now we've expanded in this area, so that they see that I'm moving forward, that I follow through. When they ask me to provide, whether sales tool it is, or a presentation, or how we are growing, then it just makes the company also grow. The more people want to be on your team, more people want to be a part of your team, more people want to help. With the one of our contacts that was over at a motorcycle show in Quail Lodge, high-end motorcycle show that goes on each year. And so Barry was there. We hadn't run into this woman for years. Barry's talking about motorcycles as he loves motorcycles, airplanes, anything that goes fast, cars, classic cars. So I'm on the socket saver, and she said, oh, did you know that's what I do? I do PR for the socket saver. But Barry went way back when. I mean, he knew her from way back when she was a young girl and knew her father. He and her father flew together. So with Tiffany, she said, well, I know how to get onto Amazon. I know how to do packaging. I know how, all the details that we didn't know how to do. She said, I have a contact here. I have a contact here. And it was absolutely, let's jump on this now, this opportunity. You could say, oh, well, I know, we haven't run into her for a while. No, jump on that opportunity because she really wanted to help. Now, we did go kind of back and forth as far as what pay would be and how the pay would be and the commission work, but then we settled on something that we felt both was very, very fair, and that's how we got onto Amazon. So she set up all the paperwork, set up everything, and we started getting sales right off the bat. I designed the website, but she tweaked it, and so contacts. And again, act on it immediately. Don't wait.
Contacts, referrals, acting on it immediately. That sounds like great advice. I want to ask you, what's been the hardest part of this journey? What has been the biggest obstacles for you to overcome, and how did you overcome them?
Well, I think the hardest obstacle many times is rejection. When you encounter rejection, I remember in the beginning when we just had our prototype and we're just getting ready to do our organizing, we're still selling the socket series in little packages because sometimes you don't know what you don't know, but then you learn. And that you had the naysayers, the people who say, oh, that's a great idea. And you have the naysayers who say, oh, that'll never work. Oh, that'll never go anywhere. That movie Joy, when I saw the movie Joy with her invention of the miracle mop, I thought, oh boy, could I relate to that movie? Because sometimes people, like the attorneys who took advantage of us for $25,000, but then you have the naysayers, that'll never work, that'll never work, that'll never work, that'll never work. And then sometimes you knock on a door and you say, I have this great idea, what do you think? And I wouldn't say that they don't laugh at you, but they'll just say, that'll never work. That'll never work. God, don't call me back. Nope, I'm not interested. It's kind of like when selling Girl Scout cookies door to door when you're a little kid. And like sometimes, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know. I'm not going to the door, ding dong. And it's like, you want to buy some Girl Scout cookies? It's a little bit in the beginning, ding dong. Do you want to buy our invention or socket saver? And it's something I think really can help you. I think it's a wonderful match. Some people embrace you, but I'm not very thick-skinned, and I still am not very thick-skinned. But I did have to learn that when you have rejection, just keep going. Just keep on going. And my brother said that he's a financial advisor, started as a stockbroker. Now he's a very, very successful financial advisor. In the top 1% in the country. And he said, Jessica, when I first got started, they said for every 100 negative responses when you just dial, just getting started as a newbie, he said, you'll get one. So he said, when I got 99 rejections, I knew that next one was probably going to be a yes. And I thought, he gave that advice to me again and again and again. Even though you can have rejections because people don't always understand the product or need it, and you're not really sure, as I was mentioning in the beginning, when you get started, you're not quite certain. I didn't have a rich father or a rich mother. I didn't have a family member or somebody that could take me under their wing and say, here's how you do it. Oh, join the firm here. Or here's how I had to figure out everything on my own, bury myself. We had to learn what we didn't know. So again, the hardest part was just keep on going. And sometimes I didn't quite know how to do the marketing. I didn't have anyone to help me or to teach me in the beginning. It wasn't until later with Barbara Bigford when I got to know her better and that I had developed the socket saver more that she could say, okay, yeah, you're doing really, really well. You're moving forward. You're not giving up. Here's my contact. Here's my contact. Confidence. They had confidence in me, but others people didn't. I remember I went to a Super Bowl party and I'm talking about the socket saver because we're having fun and the ladies are in the back kitchen and the guys are watching this game, and I pulled out my package. I'm really excited about it. And it was really interesting that they just laughed. They just laughed. Like, oh, that'll never go anywhere. That's stupid. That's ridiculous. And I thought, wow, that's rude. That's rude. But didn't say anything. And I went home and thought, well, just, have to be like just sometimes like a water off a duck's back. That can be hard. It can be inventing yourself, inventing the product, and learning that sometimes rejection is motivation, because then you learn what the objections are. Maybe some of those objections are valid. Maybe some of them are just like with, you need a better brochure, you need a better DVD, you need a better this, you need a better presentation letter, you need a better this, you need better. Okay. Instead of saying, what's wrong with this, what's right with it? And then move from there to make it better. And you look back and say, wow, I thought I had something that my brochure, my flyer, the presentation. I thought it was so good, and now I realize they were right. That's different. That when individuals, maybe they're jealous, or maybe they just don't understand, or they are small-minded or not entrepreneurial-minded, will just put you down or just say it's ridiculous and just learn not to take it seriously.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up, and I know all inventors have to go through that. I kind of want to ask you one last question, and I want to thank you for taking your time. It's been really great. Obviously, I could talk to you for hours and hours, and you're so enthusiastic, but what have you enjoyed most about creating the Socket Saver and going through this process? What's been the most fun?
I think the most fun is where we are now. That to see that years and years and years of time and effort, and sometimes when Barry and I, we'd go out to breakfast and just sit there, not wanting to spend a lot of money, but saying, can we do it? Can we make it through? And Barry always said, always, never give up, never give up, never surrender, never give up. We're going to make this a success. Always, always, always has said that. Even when there have been challenges and that door closed and that door closed and that door shut and that door shut and that door shut, and like, where are we? We're in a dark room again. He said, we're not giving up. So I'm so pleased that we have the order with LTD. I'm so pleased that we're getting into hotels now. I'm so pleased that these big companies and chains are interested in our product. That to take this idea and then turn it into a real company, into a viable company that's making money, and that it is helping people. And in many ways, it's just been Barry and me in the beginning, just to us, but having people join us to help us for a referral. So a referral, I help to have people show up, and a little bit of it would be a little bit, maybe, people don't believe in this or not, but maybe, a little bit of God is on our side. Power of prayer. I believe in the power of prayer. I believe in the power of intention. Absolutely. So when I put my intention out, think, okay, I need to have a catalog person show up. I want to get in the hotel. I need to have to show up. So I would say one of the happiest things is that when you put this intention out, and it's a very strong, pure intention, and writing your intentions down or listing to the goals that you want, manifesting, intentioning, they're kind of the same, but intention is when you put the intention out, manifesting, you see it's in your hand, and you're actually experiencing it. So I've noticed that again and again. So it brings me more of that sense of inner faith, inner power, that there might be a higher power that's out there, that you put your thoughts there, that will listen, and that wants to help, so you're not alone. And so as I'm watching these doors open up more and more and more, then I think, well, we're not alone. We have other things that we can look to and towards that send our thoughts, and our thoughts can become tangible things. And so as it happens faster, I'm like, okay. And so I believe in intentioning. I'm watching that. So I highly, highly encourage individuals to write their goals down and intention what they want, whether it's an invention or whether it's a new job or whether it's a new relationship or whether it is better health or a new move, that intention goes a long ways, not just through inventing.
You've been listening to episode 6 of the Invention Stories Podcast with our guest Jessica Haynes and her invention, the Socket Saver. I want to thank Jessica Haynes for being our guest today. To learn more about the Socket Saver, please visit her website at www.socketsaver.com.
If you're an inventor and would like to be featured on Invention Stories Podcast, have a suggestion on how we can make this podcast better, or would like to sponsor our show, please contact us at inventionstoriespodcast@gmail.com. We invite you to visit our website at www.inventionstories.com. Thank you very much for listening today, and please tell a friend.